Hey guys, we are back. We had a power cut. It's technically going really crap today. I don't know what I've lost. We're going to have to find out in a second. It looks like we've lost at least well, let's have a look. I've got to set a couple of things up, of course, first, but that shouldn't take me too long. So let me get started on this. And we shouldn't be too much longer, then we can find out how much we have lost in all. Hopefully not too much, or I'm going to be really upset. And okay, we are back. Except our editor's back, so that's okay. It's a good sign. Right. So that got fixed. We haven't got too many more. Well, we didn't get that one complete. Delete that. Go with that. Okay, save that. We're down to one error. And we'll see how that goes. It looks like it's just one of these. Okay, so it's set static mesh. Right, so okay. So we just clear this. So this is outline. And we set skeletal mesh. No, we don't. We get this. And we get okay. Set skeletal mesh. Okay. And that is us for this, I believe. We've got set outline mesh, that's fine. Actually, outline mesh should be slightly outline mesh is 1.001. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here, and that's going to be 1.001. Okay, so that's going to give us a faint outline, but an outline nonetheless. Okay, now the interesting thing here is when we go to interactable items, right, and we go to dead animal, I'm going to minimize that for now. we're going to go to our maps and go return to our test map. Okay. And now what we can do is in our interactable items, we can drag in our dead animal and we can set this row to 9, which it hasn't done. We need to check our struct has our thing. Right, dead goat. And it has the skeletal mesh and it is number 9. Okay. So we need to check why oh yeah, okay. We have to get our dead goat, sorry, our dead animal, right? And we have to reparent it SK. There. Okay. So now we have our thing. But what we'll do this manually first, right? If we go into here, okay, and we go to the skeletal mesh, we can tell it to use an asset, okay? I don't know why it's not using an asset. It's probably because this isn't set. Right, if I set this to the goat, we can now use the asset, okay? And the asset is goat dead. And similarly, so we're going to have to tell it what asset to use in this case, right? So we can do the same for basically testing purposes, right? So we can say goat, and then we can set this to the same asset, right? So basically you'll notice that it's now lying on the ground. Okay. So yeah. So the next thing is we need to check how it's going to react, and it does all the stuff, right? So the only thing we're going to be able to do here is basically use, okay? So we can switch these off. Okay. And then we can go into our dead animal. We can delete these. We can say event use item. Okay. Then we get the skeletal mesh. We play montage. We get the item data. Now this is where everything's going to change a bit. Oh, I didn't even notice there if our compass had basically disappeared or not. Right, so we're going to play that montage on use item, okay? So we're going to test that in a minute. And we're going to hide those for the moment. So did anybody notice a compass there? Just wondering. Yeah, we have a compass, but it's not working. Okay. Stop that. And we're going to go to widgets, compass. Right, and this is the wrong one. So that's better. Then we're going to go to our widget compass. And I believe that should be us. Right, so we'll try that again. And there we go, we are back in business with our compass. Okay. And there is our use. But it's not doing anything. Okay. Let's see what's going on here, shall we? So if we go to dead animal, add a breakpoint, let's see if it's triggering it. Yep, it's definitely triggering it. Right, and it should be this used montage. We've got our skeletal mesh component. Oh, I'm an idiot. It's not our skeletal mesh at all. It's our ref character that plays this montage. Right, so that's going to be mesh Okay. We're just going to play as a montage because it's a one hit. We'll resume that. And apparently she doesn't want to do that. Right, we'll try that again. Right now, I can only assume that our data isn't right. Yeah, use montage is nothing. We must have lost that in when I lost power. Right. So let's go to our. So we've got our SK mesh, our image, etc. And this one, it's not that one, it's this one. Is that the right one? Yep, that's the right one. And our anim montage is going to be skinning. I must have lost that skinning montage as well. Okay, that's fine. Let's not worry about that too much. We'll just create it again. So yeah, we've lost, there was a montage in here guys, so I've lost that. Not to worry. Right, so what we'll do at this point is we shall save all. Then we're going to go back in here. And basically skinning ground the montage. Okay, save that. Save all again. And now when we press R, what? What in the heck? Right, so we're going to press R. Resume. Why is she not doing anything? Okay. And we can do it this way as well. That's not a very good way of doing it. I'm just wondering if it's returning the anim montage. We can try that and see what happens. See if that makes any difference. Absolutely none. So I guess we're just going to have to do a print string here. And we'll print that out for 20 seconds. Right, there's something weird going on here. Right. So that's completely bizarre because that is the right montage. Right, so that should work. Okay. Let's have a look at that montage. Yep, she should get up. Did we do? Looks good to me. Ah, wait a minute. I'm going to try something. We're going to close this just now. Right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the brazier, right, in our interactive items, because that's another one that does like a special thing. The best idea here is it's this item up here. So if I click on that, okay, that's all the heat stuff. So we're not really interested in that. So we play use montage. So what we'll do is we'll copy this. Right, and we'll put it there. Right. Then we'll have a look here again. And that should be correct. That's correct. So if we look in here, there's our montage. Okay. We can save that. We can press play. And there she goes. There you go. Okay. So the only thing we've got left to do, right, let me take a look at one more thing here. I want to take a look at this to see if, I'm guessing that that character, right, this, it's looping. Don't loop. And don't play. And we're gonna have to set these in the actual, yeah, that's not looping or playing. So that's cool. So we want to make sure that our goat is lying there basically still. And we're not getting that weird twitching, which we're not. Right, and that's cool. Okay. So we've got two more things to do. We've got one, we need to add meat to our meat to our inventory, which means that we're going to need to add interactable items with meat, but they're not going to need, well, they might need a 3, yeah, they're probably going to need a 3D item on them. And the last thing that we need to do for this, well, there's actually two things we need to do. And we could set them up, just this is going to be the thing that we need to do to set these up first. Right? We need this here. And we need the struct here. And we need one more variable in here. Right? And it's going to be our dead anim pose. Okay. And if we look at our wildlife, right, it's in the farm variety pack, animals, the farm animals pack. I don't know where this came from. It came from my colleague, but anyway. So we've got animations. So it's an animation sequence, right? So anim sequence, and we'll move it up to after the skeletal mesh because it's going to relate directly to the skeletal mesh. Okay. We'll save that, and then obviously for the goat, right, which is this one here, we're going to be setting the dead anim pose to goat dead. Okay, so we're going to save that. Now what we're going to need to do is set this up in the construction for the dead animal. Okay, and this is going to be in the skeletal mesh. So we want to do a quick save all, then we'll go to our SK, and then in our construction setup where we're setting the mesh, we can now delete this because we're quite happy that this is all working, right? So our skeletal mesh anim, we're going to set the animation mode, and we're going to say use animation asset. Now we're going to do this for both this one and the outliner, except we may have to do the outliner after the fact. We'll find out in a minute, or when we mouse over. We'll see in a second. Right? And now so we're setting animation mode. And we're not doing that. So if we look at this and we set it to animation asset, it's anim to play. Oh, anim to well, that's not very good. Anim Okay. Animation. Get set. Animation blueprint linking. It's not any of them. Get animation. Set animation data. So it ain't any of them either. Right, and we can't play any of them. We can't get a sequence. Apparently we can't play that either. Anim single node instance. Okay, I don't know what that means, but we'll soon find out. Can we plug that in? Apparently not. Let's go with play again. That's not an animation. Okay, so it's not any of them. It's not any of them. That's audio controller. It's not any of them. It's not any of them. Neither is it any of them. Right, it's not a media player. Right, it's not anything to do with the player controller. Or flipbook, geometry mesh timeline. It's none of that stuff. Wait a minute. Wonder if we get mesh. apparently not. Get bone index, reference pose, get float, not. Right, so apparently we can't set the animation to play. I'm going to do a quick Google search on this. Okay, so interesting, suppose. Okay guys, if you're enjoying the stream, hit like and subscribe. I'm going to go and grab a cigarette. I shall be back in 2 minutes. Check out the description for links to Discord, my Patreon and my previous game on Steam, and I'll be back in 2. Don't go anywhere. Alright guys, we're back. And I kind of get the point to this, having thought about it, right? Is that you can't really set these after the fact, right? I'm going to try a couple more. Get anim mode. Right, and that's just going to return us to one of these, right? So if I say like equals, it's going to give us that, right? But if we look in here, right, we can't set this because we don't have, when we start, we don't have a skeletal mesh, right? So I'm thinking we actually can we say get basic data? Alright, I don't even know what this is going to look like, but we'll soon find out. Static data, frame data, okay, so that's no good to us. Right. So, get animation. And the only really thing we can do here is get an animation class. Right, so set animation class. Can we get no. Right, so I don't think I can actually do this. Right, so what I'm going to have to do is create a blueprint for each of the dead animals, right? And just basically set them up, right? So this, if we go to interactables, right, we're just going to rename this. And that's going to be goat. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll create a folder and we'll call it dead animal BPs, I suppose. Right, now the good thing about this is we can set these up beforehand. Okay, so all we need to do is get our skeletal mesh, set that there, which is absolutely fine. Right, and then go to here, do the same, and that's it. Okay. And what we actually need to do now is in our struct, this animation sequence is actually going to be a BP base interactable. Right? And we need to actually set that as a class. Right, forgot about that. So once we set this to a class, BP base interactable, and it's going to be a class, we can save that, and then in here for our goat we can do that. Right, now that's good because we know which, this tells, sorry, if we look at our dead animal pose, right, and we shall actually come to think of it, dead animal blueprint. So we can save that. And now, interestingly, what we can do is when our original animal dies, we know that we just need to spawn from item data this. This. Right? So fundamentally we can actually test this out quite easily, right, by going to our AI controllers for our wildlife, and I think it's under goat, even though this will probably become generic to all the animals, right? But if we go to here, right, and when we set the status to dead, right, we can spawn actor of class right. If we get the controlled pawn, do we have item data? Apparently we don't. Well, that's kind of... it won't be item data. Right, hang on a second. Wait till it's not interactables. Right, hang on a second. Goat, BP goat. and goat is under BP base wildlife, right? So I'm just hoping we have the row. So we have the row, right? So okay, whatever. We come off the pawn, DT. Apparently we can't get the DT. Well, probably if I tried to spell it right. Row. Ah, wait a minute. This is it here. Get DT row. Right. And then what we can do is we can say get data table row, and it's going to be DT row, right? And this is going to be interactables. And we are going to be getting our dead animal BP. Then from our control pawn, we're going to say actor transform, and we're going to plug that in there. Okay. And that's going to go in there. Okay. And the next thing we need to do this is probably the wrong place to do this, but if need be we can just copy this code into another place. Right, now we'll go back to our behavior tree. So we're setting our statuses to dead. Right, so in theory what we should do is do it this way. Right, but we shouldn't wait for like 20 seconds. We should wait for like, let's say 5. And then in here, we can actually say destroy self. Destroy. Apparently I can't destroy myself. Right, so we're going to go to this, then we're going to create a custom event, add a custom event, and we're going to say destroy self. Right, and that's going to be destroy actor self. Okay, so when we go back to our thing, then we can grab our wildlife again, and we can basically say destroy self. Okay. So if this all works, that'll be great. So that's a dead, but unfortunately it's in the snow. Right, that makes it kind of hard to kill it. Right, if it's in the snow. Right, so please don't run away into the snow again. Don't go into the snow. Just lie down and die. Right, it should be 5 seconds. Right. Now, if I'm right here, this is something weird going on, but yeah, that's fine. Ah, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Right, that's okay. Because, oh, maybe it's not. Right, I'm spawning that, but I'm not telling it what it is. Right, so when I spawn this, right, this should be 9. So it was trying to find out what it was, but fundamentally it was nothing. Right, that's it, you walk over there. Right, so I'm going to have to have a look to see what our goat. So we've still got a BP goat, even though it should be destroyed. Right. Now the question is, do we have the other goat? Yeah, we do have dead animal. Right? So that's 1176586 blah 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 blah. And it should be exactly the same as this one. Which it's not. This is a different place. Ah, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a bloomin' minute. This is the dead goat here that it's actually referring to. Right, so I don't think it's spawning. I don't think it's spawning our little goat. Sorry, our little dead animal. Right. Nope, we are not spawning a dead animal. Okay. Now that suggests to me right. That actually suggests to me that this is not getting a row or whatever. Right? This is not getting the right row. Right. So it says BP based wildlife, right? So we step over that, and yeah, it failed. Right? So this BP based wildlife thing is basically not set. Or at least it doesn't look like it is. Transfer around the default DT row, nothing. Right. Did I actually shoot that there, or did it piss off before I could shoot it? Because it did. Right. Step over. Now it's got one. Resume. And now, in theory, our dead goat should have turned into an interactable item. We can press R and she should go down and skin it. Excellent. And there you have it, guys. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call it a night. So if you've enjoyed the stream, hit like and subscribe. Check the description for my Discord and also my Patreon, where you can support the channel and the game. And also my previous game on Steam. And for the very small cost of €0, you can add it to your wish list and help me out in the Steam algorithm. So thanks guys for watching, and I hope to see you again tomorrow at 2 PM. Bye bye for now.